2 of a tutorial for quiz 8.5D, chemical formulas and equations. You took it today or maybe yesterday, October 8th or 9th. So we're just going to get right into it. Number 1, how many total atoms are there in the compound? I wrote it bigger so that you could see it. Na3PO4. I first of all have to realize how many elements I have. There are 3 capital letters, so I have 3 elements, which means to find the total, I need to add a number for Na plus a number for P and a number for O. When I add those together, I put the total here on the line or in the Google form on the blank. Number 2 says how many atoms of beryllium are there in the following chemical formula? I'm going to write it bigger. It's Al6BeO10. Beryllium. I only care about one particular element in this. How many of those are there? Number 3, the table shows the chemical formula for 4 substances. This is the table, all 4 substances. Which substances have the same number of carbon atoms? So when I look at these formulas, because I'm looking for carbon, I'm only looking at the C's. Okay? When I look at this first one, I can very quickly see that there's just 2. So I'm going to write a 2 over here. You guys can figure out how many there are here. On this one, you need to be careful because the C's are not all listed together. I need to know how many total C's there are here to keep going and how many C's there are here. Whichever substances have the same number of carbon atoms. So if you wrote the totals of all the carbon atoms over here, whichever 2 or 3 have the same is going to be your answer down here. Number 4. The chemical equation below represents propane gas burning to produce carbon dioxide and water. How many atoms are represented in the products of this equation? First of all, I have to remember RAP. Reactants, arrow, products. Right? Then I'm going to count my atoms in the products. So I have C, O, H, and O. I have to use this coefficient for all of the CO2, and I have to use this coefficient for all of the H2O. It means I'm going to distribute. So C is going to be 6 times 1. O is going to be 6 times that little number back there, 2. H, I have to distribute the 8 to each of these. Okay, so this is going to be 8 times something, and this is going to be 8 times something. When you get all your totals, you're going to add those together, and whatever number you get should be one of these answer choices. You're going to circle that. Number 5 says, what combination of beads should the student use for the following model? A student is using colored beads to make a model of aluminum sulfate, Al2, parentheses, SO4, parentheses, 3. Aluminum atoms are represented by blue. Okay, so these are blue. Sulfur atoms are yellow. So the S's are yellow. And oxygen atoms are green. Okay, so however many aluminums I have, I should have that many blue beads. And then however many S's I have, don't forget that you've got parentheses, are going to be yellow beads. And O's are going to be green beads. Number 6, how many atoms of oxygen are in the 3 molecules of acid pictured? I have a 3 in front, which means it's going to be distributed. Big number times small number, big number times small number, big number times small number. Okay? But my question is only about oxygen, so I only care about the O's. I'm going to take big number times small number for the O, and I should get the correct answer. Number 7, this was a do now earlier. A compound secreted by honeybees to paralyze intruders in their hive is known as 2-heptanone. The formula for the compound is shown. How many atoms of each element are in one molecule of 2-heptanone? So I need to know how many C's, how many H's, and how many O's total. So I've got a C here, and I'm going to add it to the 4 C's here, and add that to this C, and add that to this C. I'm probably going to get 7 of those. Okay, then I'm going to have to count my H's. So I'm going to add these, plus these, plus these. And I'm going to get a number. Whatever I get, I have to read the choices here and find the right combination of carbons and hydrogens and oxygen. The last one, number 8. How many atoms of nitrogen are in the chemical formula? N is the only letter that matters for this